The Gallant Few Rangers podcast is brought to you by Triple H Mortgages, the one-stop shop for all your mortgage and mortgage insurance needs. Contact them today on 01453 887 179 or hello@hhhmortgages.com. You can also find them online at hhhmortgages.com or on their Facebook page. Hello and welcome to the Gallant Few Rangers podcast, the podcast which promises to bring you the odd glimmer of football analysis in between the bouts of unadulterated smugness tonight. My name is Colin. I'm hosting from Cloud9. I'm joined by Kenny Winters. Kenny, a happy man today, I'm guessing.
Good weekend.
Oh, I heard that. That's good. Also joined by Scott Hodge, who should be as happy as the both of us, but a bit worse for the other day, are we?
No, not too bad. Just a bit tired, but nice weekend.
Good weekend all in. So don't know if MD's heard. We now keep Celtic. That's what 4 times we beat them this season. I say we're allowed to keep Celtic. I don't think MD would want them, but that's Sunday was just the perfect Old Firm game to finish the season because it was absolutely boys against men, and I think the most pleasing thing for me, Rangers could have took it up a gear. It's all fine and well that I'm saying that now, but Scott, the morning of the game, I was very nervous, especially seeing not so much the lineup itself, but the lack of options on the bench. And I'm going to admit on air, I was wrong when I said to you I wasn't confident, and I know a lot of people felt like that morning.
I think so. I think like Gerard said it, but light in the areas, so people have been asked to do maybe jobs that they're not completely natural in. Like you look at obviously Aribo going to left back and things like that. We know he can play there, but I think if you look at who started the game, apart from maybe Simpson, it's maybe like you would arguably say it was like the strongest 11 that we could put in the field. So I was still confident going in there, but obviously, we did have a lot of people unavailable, but just different class compared to Celtic.
No, Kenny, the biggest thing I was worried about, and I need to caveat this, but I was a burst ball on Sunday morning, so I don't know if that's why I was just feeling so on edge. But I think for me, I was worried about we didn't have Jack or Arfield in the middle of the park, and Joe Aribo is great at what he does, but he doesn't really have that aggression or dig that they two have. Turns out I was wrong because I thought Aribo was terrific.
Yeah, I said last week that I don't think I'm not as confident when Aribo's in the middle three, but he was untouchable on Sunday. I think all of them were, but him and Roof especially. I think last week I said Roof and Jack Simpson, were the ones that had to pull their socks up, and that's went well for me. So
don't worry, you're not the only one. At the Viceroy on Saturday, we had an argument with a mate that said that Roof should be sold in the summer. I know he had a poor penalty against St Johnstone, and we did criticise him for this on here, but I don't think MD in the right mind was saying that it was finished. That it was finished. He's only 28.
See when he's on his game, and I know it's been floating about a lot recently. See when he's on his game and that spell he had before he was injured and then was out the team for a wee while. He was arguably our best player for a few weeks. So it's definitely silly talking about getting rid of him. Absolutely not. But he's if he can keep up the form that he was on yesterday, then
I think
it's looking good.
I think Roof realises he needed that performance after the game. When he was interviewed, he did talk about how frustrating it was for him being in and out of the team through injury, then in and out of form. So I think he did need that, and that's a great way to finish the season. I know we've got 2 games left, but that's virtually the season done, and that's finishing it on such a high go in the next year. let's talk about his first goal then. Scott, I wish I could chest the ball in general, never mind chest a goal. It was fucking phenomenal.
No, it was brilliant. It was Alan McCoy's in the commentary as well. It's like he definitely meant it. Like, it's not as if like it's been that. I've never seen a goal like that in my life, to be fair. Like somebody chesting it from how many, about 8 yards out or something like that.
What? Not enough people are talking about how shite Ryan Kent's shot was to actually go to Europe in the first place.
I know, but no, that's what I mean. He's a on his day. He needs consistency. I think that he needs to work on that for next season. But when he's on his game, he's probably one of our best players in the team.
Yeah. Kenny, straight after the goal, I'm sure everybody was like us watching it. The sheer joy and celebration when the goal goes in, but then it wasn't really a separate celebration. It was just prolonged when you see McGregor was sent off. What a time to, like, in theory, just kill the game off. But I may be a bit biased here. Absolutely no fucking complaints with McGregor sending off either of his bookings.
I think from the other side, what a lot of them were saying was he shouldn't have been sent off. So I think isolated the two challenges are both yellows. But I think certainly coming from the other side, what most of the complaints have been is like a misinterpretation of the rules. So a lot of them are saying because we scored, he shouldn't get sent off because he's not, like, obviously stopped the promising play. But I think the refs came out after it and said that it was a reckless challenge, so that's why he's been sent off. I think the second one more than the first was probably a booking. I think for an Old Firm game, was that one of his first fouls? It's pretty light to get booked, but no complaints. I didn't actually realise that he'd been sent off until someone put it in the group chat a few minutes after. But yeah, no, I think I know they went up the park just 2 minutes later and scored there, but I think that definitely spurred us on to actually get a grip of the game and go for it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no complaints there. For me, I don't think either of them are right. I think the only poor decision was possibly Jack Simpson's yellow card. I thought that was a bit harsh, but McGregor's two tackles, Kent's away from him for the first one, then Kamara's away from him, and he's just he's stopped an attack. It's an absolutely two stonewall bookings, and the ref again, I'm going to sound very biased here because of how the result went, but I thought he had a decent game. Other than that sending off shot, I don't remember him having too much to do that he got wrong.
No, I don't. I thought it was a complete right decision to get McGregor off, and no, as you say, there was nothing glaring. Jack Simpson's was very soft, and I was a bit nervous for because he got booked very early on, and it's obviously had that, and I was when he got sent off, I was always he's going to try and even this up. You know what I mean? Like he's going to.
You always think that in his games, don't you?
But he held. I think that was his first Old Firm. That I don't know who the ref is, but I think it was his
Nick Walsh. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I think it was his first Old Firm. So, good debut, and Cal McGregor must be up there for Player of the Year for Rangers anyway. Scoring a goal and then sent off.
He's lived his boyhood dream, winning 2 Old Firm matches basically for Rangers. Fair play to him. I envy him, but. Kenny mentioned there, Scott, about Celtic going right up the other end and scoring. I think it was it Edward that scored. It's quite irrelevant now, but Rangers were very, very lacklustre at this goal. We've allowed Edward to get a bit of space, and it's a very comfortable goal for them. I don't want to bring them down too much, but I did think there was a few occasions, particularly in the centre half, where for cross balls we weren't attacking our men well enough, and we let Ayer get through a few times as well, didn't we?
No, there was. I think that said it in a lot of detail. Like there's been a drop off since we've won the league and things like that. So I think obviously we've got the mini targets. So I get 100 points. Want to stay undefeated in the last 2 games and things. So I think. There's an element of sort of what you call a word, like sort of not putting your 100% into it, which shouldn't be the case. But I feel like they had a few chances, but nothing that I was particularly concerned about. The only really chance was El Nahusi. El Nahusi, is that right?
El Yunusi.
El Nahusi, aye. His chance at 0-0 where he hit the bar, it was a good save from McGregor, but aye, there is a lot we can work on, but you need to, as I say, remember, Tav's just back, Simpson's not played much football, and, you know, like, and under the circumstances, I think they've done as best as they could. It's not our settled back four.
No. And Kenny, I think, you know, well, you need to expect Celtic to always get chances in these games. And, you know, when Celtic go down to 10 men and Rangers go 2-1, 3-1 up, blah, 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 they're always going to take the foot off the gas. But credit where it's due, I don't think after any of these chances we ever really looked shaken as a defence or as a team. Even when El Yunusi did hit the bar, McGregor would have gave his wee shout, whatever. I don't know, the game could have been 7-0 and he would have still been shouting at a corner flag or something. But we never looked under any, I don't know, we never looked shaken at all. They looked confident from start to finish, I thought.
And it's been like that. It's been like that all season. I think see the old firm. What was it? 2nd of January. When we sat off of them and let them have the ball, like you think back to that, and I see apart from the Griffiths shot McGregor saved, like they didn't even really look in that game as if they were going to score at any point. I think it's just how good our defence has been all year. And see, to be honest, like I know Ellen had that one. See the header that came in went over Taft's head. I mean, how he's not put that away, it's embarrassing. But that's as good as they've got. Honestly, I think that is as good as they've got. So I don't think it's us not even looking shaken. I think it's just the sheer quality that we've got at the back, and even with Jack Simpson coming in for his second league start, you know, you seen right away that he looked confident and he looked a part of the team.
No, he did. Fair play him. I think most of us did have a doubt in him. I know I keep on going back to the straw, but I was pacing up and down this living room before the game, just thinking Simpson and Leon King was our go-to if anything happened. But no, fair play. Let's talk about Alfredo Morelos then. Best striker in Scotland. You know, there's always this kind of love-hate relationship where between him and Scott Brown, where Scott Brown hates him, but we love to see Morelos play against Brown. As of late, his goal was phenomenal. Scott putting it through Brown's legs and finish.
Aye, it's funny. I was saying before it as well. I think like he's just not a natural goal scorer and stuff like that, and he just done that. So. Just brilliant, just confidence it was. You know what I mean? Like that, Celtic didn't believe that they were going to win. I don't even think they believed in themselves. But we just had so much confidence, and fantastic goal from Morelos. Deserves it.
Whose celebration was better? Ruth's when he was like, I don't know, Morelos sprinkling the tears.
Must be Morelos.
Nah, that's the gifts that have came out for that have been phenomenal, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal. My favourite one is when it's somebody's photoshopped like we pictures of Scott Brown's face as if he's sprinkling them. Brilliant. But Kenny, I think it always was going to be a case. Once he gets his first goal against Celtic, it was just going to continue to score against them.
That one, his first one against them, it was good to score, but you know, it's a tap in at the back post. It seems to be going in anyway. At least that one yesterday was like undisputed. Did you know what? Listen to his but like, see if he hadn't megged him, I don't think he would have shot. I think he's megged him and just thought, fuck it, might as well. And it's came off. So no, great to see him scoring. Trust me, there'll be no one that winds them up more than him.
No. But it's only fitting that Morelos had a massive part to play in Brown's last dance, as this was painted. So
is that his second one? His second last dance?
I know, man. It's got to be like these fucking Mission Impossible films, isn't it? It's just got to be keep going and going, and Brown will be 60 until still trying to gear up for another Old Firm one. So Rangers go into half time 2-1 up with extra man. Kenny, I don't know. I don't really know how I quite want to word this. The second half, we were better than we were in the first. We were phenomenal, but I do think we could have upped a gear or two, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. The second half yesterday was like, that was more like when Gerrard first came in and we played them, when we just went for them, smelt blood and went for the jugular. Like, we were just constantly on them. Obviously, the extra man did help, and you've seen, especially Stephen Davis. I know we were talking about it a wee bit on the WhatsApp during it. Stephen Davis, I think, in the second half was on. I don't think you'll see a better performance all season than what he was like. I know everyone's been talking about Ryan Kent being outstanding both halves, but yeah, Stephen Davis in that second half. I don't know what's been said or what's came over him at half time, but it was honestly, I've never seen him play like that before in my life.
Scott, for me, Ryan Kent would edge the man of the match performance, but I wouldn't be upset if, as a trio, we gave it to Davis. Where do you land in it?
Could have been Morelos, could have been Roof,
could have been Dav.
It's just so many good performances. I think Davis was special yesterday. So it'd be between Davis and Kent for me, and that's really harsh on Roof considering I get 2 goals. But yeah, there's just so many options to pick from. Just a great team performance really yesterday.
So you're going to sit in the fence.
I'm going to sit in the fence. Aye.
Oh, Jesus, terrible. So into the third goal. We spoke about Kemar Roof, how great he was, and it was such a clever finish, and the fact that as soon as he plays the ball to Barisic and then he makes that run, Scott, he knows exactly what he's doing, and that's it. Not even we speak about his ability and his talent and his physicality, but it's just so clever that he's got that football brain. What was equally as beautiful with this goal was the ball in, but that's Borna Barisic. That's why we have him. That's why he's touted to go for millions in the summer. That's why he's Croatia's number 1 left back.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was it's almost as if like you knew he was going to score that as soon as he laid it off to Barisic, and his movement was great, and he had so much time to like just pick his spot. And if that was your defence, you'd be raging with him, but it's just like not tracking your men. It's quickness and determination to get there as well. It was a brilliant goal, and as you say, like the ball in from Barisic was absolutely fantastic.
I know. Obviously, Barisic went off with a bit of a thigh knock. Just looks like he's maybe his quad or something. I mean, this season's done and dusted now, but my thinking is, if he is fit for Livingston next week, do you play him or do you rest him, Kenny, just to make sure that he reaches the Euros?
I don't know. Like, from a selfish point of view, if he doesn't go to the Euros, we've got a better chance of keeping home next season. Obviously, though, we want to wish him all the best, and we want him to play. So I'd probably just rest him. It's just about covering. It's just about who we can get into to cover there. Do you know when Balogun's due back?
No idea. I don't know about him or Hollander, but I don't know. I think they might still be a doubt for next week. But even if Hollander or Lauren was to come back, you'd play Simpson left back, I suppose.
Well, he said before that game that Hollander and Arfield are out for the rest of the season. So kind of what I'm thinking is, if you put Aribo even at left back, then who does that leave you in midfield with? Probably a middle two of what's their names, Davis and Kamara, with Hadji or Kent in front of them. I'd leave them out. There we go. I'd leave them out. Put Arfield at left back and leave Barisic on the bench.
No, I don't know. It's a hard one. It's short way. I want him to play at the Euros. I absolutely do want him to play, but I don't. If he's the only left back we got, I want to play. But at the same time, I wouldn't want I wouldn't want us to play him in 2 meaningless games and then that has a long-term impact on him.
That's just what I was going to say. Like, if we were, like chasing the league, then absolutely put Rangers at this, the forefront of it there. I would, I'd bring in, maybe want to see Leon King, maybe especially for Livingston, I'd like to see him start at centre half and put maybe Simpson at left back. I'd like to see that. So yeah, like you could do that. Play Aribo. Like we are very short in numbers, but it might just be a case of tweaking like where people are playing and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see what we go with next week.
The shortage in numbers is not many people are talking about that Rangers didn't fill the bench yesterday. And still managed to shut Celtic. They couldn't fill the bench with first team players, and I know we had the comment, you and I commented that surely just putting a couple of young boys there, but I suppose if you're only ever going to use 5 subs at maximum, 7 is enough, but it's the fact that we didn't have enough first team players and still able to go out like that.
Why was Andy Fluff not in the bench after his contract? Might as well just put him in the bench. He was at the game anyway. I don't know. It's just a weird one.
Was McLaughlin on the bench?
Aye, but like, I meant like, you might as well put him in the bench. Like, if he's at the game anyway, like.
He wins,
we can't even fill the bench. Like, why is he not even?
If MD deserves a wee dig in the bench, it's Andy Fuff, man. I have so much time for him. I've never loved a player so much who's played so well.
Have you seen his Instagram?
He's just so happy, isn't he?
But he's posting as if he's playing every week in, week out. Have you not seen it?
He's part of the squad, and I will not hear anything against it, Kenny.
I mean, you can crack on. Good on him. I wish I had his job, man.
I know. Third choice, the Rangers, and it's a great job, and massive congratulations to him for getting his extra year on his contract. By a side note, do you remember, Scott, you and I went to the Viceroy on Saturday and we were telling people that's what we were out celebrating? Yeah, so if you're listening, we weren't doing that. Coincidence. But also an apology. I posted from the Gallant Few Twitter and Instagram the photos that we were at the Viceroy, but I've put in the Gallant through. Sorry, listeners, we haven't changed our name. Just me, drunken typo. Anyway, back to the football then. So, Kenny, Jermaine Defoe, just showing he's still a class act. He's still got it.
Honestly, mate, I've never been so happy for anyone on a football pitch in my life. See that photo of him standing there, and he's got like his hands in his face, and his feet are turned in. He honestly looks like a wee kid. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a wee kid that's just scored his first goal. Oh, honestly, never seen. It was like overcome by emotion as well, and then see the wee smile between him and Gerrard. Oh, what a fucking day!
Beautiful. And Scott, taking the sentiment away from it was such a well worked goal, wasn't it?
Oh, I mean, a Welsh boy for Celtic. I'm not a terrible team, to be honest. He's not even the worst defender on their team, but
he keeps on. They're speaking about Stephen Welsh like we're speaking about Nathan Patterson.
Like, did he not just get a 4-year deal?
Aye.
Like, just a fantastic goal, and it's, as you say, like you just don't lose that. And I wonder if he will be here next year. I think he would have a part to play, even to get him registered. You know, if it is a coaching thing he's wanting to do, like I can't see it being much of a hassle just registering him as a player. He's obviously naturally very fit, so I think there's games that we can use them. So I would like to see another.
I think he's the kind of guy you do want around the club for personality and mentality as well. He's played at the top level, and he'll be great for not even the younger players, but even players, reaching their prime and how to keep them in shape. Like he's looked after himself so well. But you need to go with what he wants. If he's happy to be in bit part again, then offering him a player coach deal, absolutely. But my gut feeling is he still wants to play football.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about this yesterday as well. Who's it going to go to if he wants to keep playing football? I can't see him playing for Oxford or, you know what I mean, Luton Town or whatever. I just can't see him being that. He's getting his, I don't know how many games he's played this season, but he's had his fair share. Depends what he wants to do next. He's obviously tried, went over to Canada and played and things like that. So, as I say, I wouldn't know who, if he's still wanting to play, who would he go to?
No. But I don't know, he might. Don't know, he might end up in like Party Piss or something, like Scottish Championship. Might stay up here, you know, and get his season tickets, just alternate Saturdays, come watch Rangers. You never know. So that made 4-1. I loved Gerrard's interview afterwards, Kenny. More so the Rangers TV one. He always speaks so well. He's such a, again, I'm biased, man. I fucking love him. At one point, I interrupted his interview to turn and say to you, Scott, that he's just fucking beautiful. Honestly, he's stunning. But he's got such a gravitas and a presence, but he always speaks so much sense, and he speaks honestly as well. And I like how he's been about. It was the right reaction that he wanted after St Johnstone, but I loved hearing the words we wanted to go for Celtic's throat from the offset. He was talking about how we just needed Kent to do what he always does to Brown and McGregor. Very enjoyable interviews, I thought.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the interviews. So this is probably the worst question I've asked there. So I seen clips of it. I seen a clip of as well the Kamaru one saying, "Remember we're champions." So it does look as if the squad now are starting to, starting to connect that a bit more. I mean, they already were a close group from what it looked like, but with what you're saying about Gerrard, he has held himself together really well over the season, and I know there's been talk from all over the place about how he celebrated after that 2-1 win last year. And his total changing the way that he conducts himself. But yeah, all season he's been class in front of the cameras, and he's definitely got the stature about him that we should have up here at Ibrox.
So Kenny mentioned there about Kemar Roof posting like we're champions, and how there obviously seems a bit more connect between the players. And I mean, I think for day one under Steven Gerrard, we've looked to have a squad mentality and build that. But something yesterday just felt special for the players and the club and the fans as well. And I don't know if it's because the time of year it is that we're coming out of lockdown, people are starting to be able to go and watch it with friends, and it's probably the best. That's the best we played against Celtic this year as well. And off the back of a really poor performance, is it just a mixture of everything that made yesterday so special for a Nottingham game?
I think so. Aye. It's one of the ones. If obviously we'd won the league if we could beat yesterday. I mean, it would hurt, but it wouldn't have mattered at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it was a really important game in terms of wanting to go undefeated. But let's be realistic. If we lost, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. It was still our name, and we're still lifting the trophy on the 15th of May. So. It was, I think, just the performance was brilliant. Like, they obviously worked in this game plan, like how we went for like 2 number 9s and things like that, which is good to see them mixing it up. And I think we just had so much belief that we're going to win, and Celtic had absolute zero. Like, just like everything that's going on with them, it's just making it so difficult for them. So, just a wonderful day.
Should I share my theory with the listeners, or will I get shot down?
There you go.
So my theory with Old Firm games has always been that the more hungover I am on the day, the better Rangers play. This all started. I think I went to the Shed on Friday night, and then the garage on Saturday night. Over like 72 hours, I had like 2 hours sleep, and went to the Old Firm. I was sitting in the club deck because I used to sit in the broom one. I was right at it. So for the Old Firm, I was moved to the club deck, right at the front row. And I remember just starting to sober up. See, that way when you sober up without any sleep, and it's the worst feeling in the world. So as I'm starting to sober up, Penny Arcade comes on, I just see Walter Smith come out and waving, floods of tears. So hungover I've ever been, and I'm sure we beat Celtic 3-0 or something that day. We were amazing. So ever since then, I had it in my head. The more hungover I am, I'm brilliant, and I can confirm I think that's the only time I've been hungover for an Old Firm this season, and that's the best we played against Celtic. So I deserve a winner's medal just as much as Andy Firth does, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, selling our bucket hat.
Me and Andy Firth on the bench in Livingston. There's two spaces. There we go. So if me and Andy Firth are taking the spaces for Livingston on Wednesday, Kenny, how do you see the first 11 shaping up? I think most of it speaks for itself, really, and depends on injuries, to be fair.
Yeah. I think after the St Johnstone game, as in the league game, he's not going to take any chances by playing a lesser squad. So I think with McGregor, Tav, Goldson, probably Simpson and Aribo. What I say earlier, that back four, and then Davis and Kamara mid, Kent in front of them, Roof and someone at the back post, Morelos up top. I think that will be the team. I think that will be the team on, when is it? Sunday, Saturday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, I think that will be the team. I know you said that the back four picks itself, but looking at the injuries and the numbers that we've got, I can't really see anyone else. Maybe Hadji, but I can't really see him forcing Kent out. So
probably the back four probably be the trickiest one, Scott, isn't it? Just like Kenny was saying.
Hold on, wait a minute. I've counted 10 here. McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Simpson, Aribo, Davis, Kamara, Hadji, Kent, Roof, Morelos. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stick Firth on.
Well, that confident we're starting with 10. There we go.
Yeah, I think the fair, it's just, as I say, it's judging on obviously fitness and things like that. That will be important for it there. But again, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Leon King maybe get a start there, and there's no point, as I say, risking Barisic if he has got an injury. Obviously, like for a football representing your country at European Championships is a great. It's obviously it'll be one of the proudest moments of his career. So I would hate for Rangers to try and stop that. And Gerrard's always very supportive of going away in the internationals as long as they're looked after properly and things like that. So why not bring in King? As I say, he'll be beside Goldson, and I'm sure that Simpson or something can do a good job in the left of the defence. The
reason I mentioned the Livingston game is because and we will do a preview before it next week. I don't want the feeling we're having now. I don't want that to go away. I find everybody associated with the club deserves to have this feeling for the next few weeks as well. And I know we've been on a high from winning title number 55 about 12 years ago. It feels like now, it was the ages. But I think just beating Celtic and then winning the next two games comfortably and just making Trophy Day as special as it possibly can be. It's got to be special regardless. I mean, we could beat 5-0 off Aberdeen and it'll still be special, but just anything adding to make it such a significant day, it'll be unreal. So that's why we all definitely deserve it. And with the restrictions easing, we can watch the games with our friends and family. We can go and celebrate after it. I want this team just to keep the high going. Yeah, but I'm getting emotional just thinking about it there. So let's round up, as we always do, with Twitter part of the week. Your chance to tell the listeners what's the funniest thing you've seen on the world of social media. It can be Rangers related or football related, and it's always a good pickings when we beat Celtic, because Kerrydale meltdown is fucking tremendous.
None in particular. It's you've probably seen all that girl on it called Ruthless Lady. She makes all the gifts and stuff. I think it was her that started that one of Morello sprinkling that fucking idiot's head. There's a girl on it that I follow, name's Morgan something. She put up a tweet in it's Saturday night, something about don't be horrible to people. Then she's tweeted something on Sunday morning about. Well, I'm not going to say what she said, but you can imagine the language that she's used in it.
Unladylike Jetson.
Aye. And honestly, seeing the reply, she's got them in strings. Unbelievable.
It's all
nothing in particular. That's I've seen actually quite a lot of videos of Kent absolutely roasting that Taylor.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I've seen the slow down version of it and I still don't know how he done it. It's like dark magic, honestly. It's phenomenal. It's so good. Scott, what have you got for us this week?
So mine was it was a good goal from whoever that was, nutmeg smashed it into the top corner. It's just Scott Brown under it. They were right up.
Most would have seen this. I think it was the guy Pena Cartel tweeted it. Celtic's great hope, Stephen Welsh getting twisted inside out by a guy old enough for both COVID jabs. Form is temporary and class is permanent, as they say. Well, that'll bring us to a close for this week. All that's left to do is thank two guests. First of all, Kenny Winters.
Cheers.
And Scott Hodge.
Cheers, lads.
And thank you all for listening. Thank you for your support all season. Enjoy this week. Enjoy the next couple of weeks. We are the people. Take care.